Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how I disassemble a p320 FCU to install the Gray Guns competition kit. This works for just swapping parts out or taking it apart and cleaning it. First things first, you're going to remove your FCU from the firearm or from your grip module. We're going to start by taking the trigger bar spring off. The way I do it here is I just pull it with my thumb. I'm going to pull it down. It goes down at an angle, so I'm going to pull it down and push. It pops it right off. Next, we're going to remove the trigger bar and trigger. After that, we're going to take our trigger stop pin out. Trigger stop pin removed, we can then take down our takedown safety lever. And what we're going to do is I'm going to put my finger behind that right there. Just pull up. Once you pull up, you don't want to let it go back down. Fear you're going to crush your spring that's in there. I'm just going to pull it off, pull it down, and rotate it off. Next, we're going to remove our safety lever pin and our sear pin. So just push right out. And then all the internal guts should fall out. At this point, you're able to replace your sear springs, your safety lever pin with the parts that you get in the Gray Guns kit. This one already has a Gray Guns kit installed. You can swap your springs, change them to the intermediate, the competition, or leave the factory ones in, just whatever you prefer. And then put all your factory parts aside and just replace them with the parts that come in the Gray Guns kit. So now what we're going to do is we're going to reassemble it. We'll take our safety lever, and with the flat side facing to the left of our gun, I'm going to go ahead and lay this right in to the sear housing. Next, I'm going to take our sear pin, install the sear pin. I'm going to make sure that the sear pin does not protrude into the opening of our sear housing. It's just below flush. Next, we'll take our sear. I've got, this one already has grease on it, but you can grease up these two little nipples on your sear, put your springs on to hold them on just a little bit better. So I will take our sear, go ahead and install that in the sear housing. This part, you want to be very careful not to crush your sear springs when you install this. So I'll very carefully push those sear springs into the sear housing, making sure they're not crossed. And I can see right there that they're both in their own tracks and not crisscrossed or anything, so that when they get depressed, they won't get bent or twisted around. I depress the sear just a little bit. Install the safety lever pin. From this side, you can see that the safety lever is still not quite in the right position, so I'll just take a punch, move it around until our pin goes through. Next, we're going to install the takedown safety lever. This, I'm going to put in the FCU right there. I use this little notch in the FCU to hold it in place. I'm just going to bend it up and on top of the FCU. I don't want to go all the way over yet because I'll end up crushing that spring. So then I'm going to bring in a pick. I'm going to go in front of that spring, pull it to the rear, push our takedown safety lever in place, and then remove the pick. Next, we can install our trigger stop pin from the left to the right. That, and then we will install our trigger bar and trigger bar spring. The way I like doing this is I will take the trigger bar, put it on the trigger, install both of those into the FCU. Sometimes your trigger bar likes to fall, but I'll still, with the trigger pushed all the way forward, it keeps our trigger bar outside the sear housing. While it's in that position, I will install the leg of the spring into the trigger bar. Let the spring come off the trigger bar just a little bit. I'll use my right thumb to hold that in place. I'm just going to use, I haven't done this in a minute. I'm just gonna, so the way I actually do it is I have the trigger bar inside the sear housing. We'll put that leg of the spring in the trigger bar. Spring is off the trigger, outside the little cutout for it. I'm just gonna use my left finger to push the spring in. It's almost the exact opposite of what we do to take it off. And now you're good to go. That's the disassembly and reassembly of a 6-hour p320 FCU. Thank you.